I did hear reports that they're leaning towards doing show specific pay-per-views again.
I know, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I if done well, it's a good idea.
It's just a lot though
It's
at
a
the same
lot,
time,
but
you know? Well, and I think it's more so of like, I don't know that I love there being just one pay-per-view in a month that's Raw specific. I would almost rather that they have 2 pay-per-views a month, so it's at least one for each brand. I would prefer that, but it still just seems kind of silly because then why not just combine them? But it's just a really long time for rivalries that are going on to skip a month for a pay-per-view, because pay-per-views are generally when a feud gets heated up to continue for another month or it ends. So that's a long time for them to go from pay-per-view and then skipping a month to another one. That's a long time to draw something out. So that's why I'm just and just historically it's not worked very well in the past. At least like I've never been a huge fan to begin with.
what if pay-per-views were like the NXT type of pay-per-views in your house where it's just 2 hours and it's a special on Peacock? Pay-per-view doesn't
Yeah.
need to be these 3.5, 4 hour spectacles anymore. I mean, look
Yeah.
what the best way I can describe it is how AEW kind of does their shows in a way where they have their, I call them pay-per-views, but it'll be like AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming. But it's every year, it's the Winter's Coming show.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's, for instance, NXT, they did like the spring break one, but it
Yeah.
was on USA.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the main roster, you could just do that as a special on Peacock, do a pre-show for it because it's technically a pay-per-view, and then you get more talent maybe on their pre-show. You do a pre-show and you get them lower card of people who are just trying to make like a main event type of
Mm-hmm.
thing for the live shows. You would just make that a pre-show match. And then you're getting more talent on these shows.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's ambitious just because that is such a big change, but it's going to be interesting because I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, because that would be something I think Triple H could kind of put his name on, and it would be something that he created and he developed and he pushed forward, which is kind of different from what Vince has done. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's something, because then it was like that's his own thing. There isn't any Vince McMahon fingerprints on that. So